and using the microphone, just put it on the chat box and be as interactive as you can. Over to Indira.
Thank you so much, Arpit. Namaskar and a very good afternoon to each and every one of you. I just came to know it is raining in your part of the country, which is really, really lovely. Rains are always a lot of fun, right? How many of you agree? Give me a thumbs up. You can use a virtual reactions also. How many of you enjoy rains? Me too. Okay. Quite a few of you enjoy rains. That's nice to know. Okay. So to begin with, now I know this is a learning session per se. So I have to talk a lot and I love talking. But my listeners don't really like me talking. क्योंकि थोड़ी देर बाद वो सो जाते हैं. So just to break the monotony, I want all of you all imagining you are in your favorite vacation place, your dream vacation. For 10, I'm giving you 10 seconds. Imagine which is your dream vacation place. सोच लिया सबने? Within 10 seconds. Now, whichever is your dream vacation, use that as your background in the video. So I'm going to put my dream vacation, which is actually, okay, I'm so sorry, I cannot get it.
I think you will have the right to change it.
We have the right, but actually, I don't have the. Okay.
Okay.
All right, no problem. So in case you all are not able to change it, just drop it in the chat box, which is your dream vacation destination. Drop it in the chat box quickly. I'm giving you 10 seconds for that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wow. I'm getting quite a few interesting responses. Somewhere in the Green Valley, Philippines, Kedarnath, Bali, Italy, Goa, Maharashtra. अरे ये कौन है मराठी मुलगी या मराठी मुलगा? Greece, Japan, anywhere in South India. Okay, आ जाओ भाई South India में. Bora Bora, Bhutan. Nice, 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 lovely. Okay, so all of us are going to we are going to imagine throughout the session that we are sitting in that place. Okay. All right, Shivangi, kya ho gaya? Please unmute yourself and share. I can see beautiful expressions on your face.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
Ma'am, आपने मेरा dream city नहीं पढ़ा.
Oh, I'm so sorry. आपका dream city कहाँ? Bua's house? नहीं, not Bua's house. Paras Sharma का है.
It's Turkey.
Turkey. Oh yes. हाँ, वो Turkey का T small हो गया ना, इसलिए मैंने नहीं देखा ठीक से. Okay. All right. Nice to know, Paras, that you love to visit your Bua's house. Good. So we all have a variety, huh? Good. Nice. So now all of us are charged up. तो session शुरू करते हैं. I will, as far as possible, I'll try to make the session not so boring. Okay. But in case it gets boring in between, in case you feel you're feeling sleepy or something like that, please stop me then and there and say that, Madam ji, thoda hame neend aa rahi hai, hame sone do. I won't let you all sleep, but I'll give you something different to do. Okay, fair enough? All right. So here I share my screen. And give me a minute, I'll just go full screen. Are you able to see my full screen? Somebody unmute yourself and say.
Yes,
or no?
ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Oh,
ma'am.
okay, lovely, lovely. Thank you so much. So this is today's topic, that is pedagogy and pedagogy versus andragogy. These are, naam se hi pata chalta hai, these are completely opposite terms, right? Pedagogy ka opposite is andragogy, andragogy ka opposite is pedagogy. Why they are opposite, how they came to be opposite, we'll discuss that in the over the next 2 hours almost. Okay. But before we begin with the session, this is the word of the day. That is thermochromism. Thermochromism. Any idea, anybody, what that could be? Anybody, you can just unmute and say. Nobody? Anjali, Kavita?
Ma'am, it's the
Okay.
first time I'm hearing this word, but I'll try to
Okay.
guess. Thermo means something related to temperature, and chroma, I'm not sure. Is it color?
Perfect. Therm is temperature and chroma is color. Okay. So now if it is temperature and color, I want all of you to just put your thinking caps and think a little. I'll give you one clue. About 10 years back, that is somewhere in 2013, 14, during that time, there was this color changing Kung Fu Panda. यानी कि उसको लेके आप ठंडे पानी में डालोगे, उसका कलर चेंज होता है. That was a toy you used to get in Kinder Joy and I don't know, some other chocolate. I think it was in Gems or something. Okay. That is thermochromism. That is a change in color when something is heated or something is cooled. In fact, we get a lot of these customized coffee mugs. उसमें गरम पानी या गरम कॉफी डालने से उसका कलर चेंज हो जाता है. That is thermochromism. How it happens, that's a deep chemical reaction. We'll discuss that some other time. Okay. But yes, this is the word of the day. It actually means change in color of something when you either heat it or when you cool it. Back in 1970s, this was like a very in phenomenon, you know. There used to be clothes that could undergo thermochromism. तो किसी को गुस्सा आ जाता है तो वो लाल हो जाता था शर्ट. All right. So that's the word of the day. Now, shall we proceed? Yes, no, no, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you. Here is a picture. I want all of you to just note down 4 random things you notice. Note it down in your book and then we'll discuss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 10. Time up. Okay. Now, may I request, whom do I ask? Savitaj Kaur, can you please share whatever you noticed? You're on mute, dear.
Yes, ma'am. They have a different hair color, which can also denote the difference in ages. Then different genders have different hairstyles. Men have shorter hair, women have longer hair. They denote gender differences as well. And basically just that.
Okay. Rupanshi, what about you?
Ma'am, the first thing I have noticed is that it is basically a blood relation chart shown where a
Okay.
proper family type is shown. Then second thing I notice is that their eye color is different,
Wonderful. All right.
and also their hair color, and the fourth one is gender.
Okay, perfect. Norzum, I'm sorry if the pronunciation is wrong, please correct me.
What I noticed is the different expressions that were given by the different person. Like some have round eyebrows and some have normal and like that.
Okay, thank you so much. So there are 3-4 things that I am writing down. One is blood relation. Then somebody said hair color, gender. Okay, I'm sorry, my handwriting was not that great. And Norzum, there was one point which you noticed.
Facial expression.
Facial expression. Yes, thank you so much. Facial expression. Okay. Anybody else? Anything interesting? Please unmute yourself and say. Anybody? Somebody? Nobody? Everybody?
Indra ma'am,
Yes,
one of them is with the beard. The rest all others you can see as a female, and the other one is a clean shaven. Second part, something very interesting. Their facial expressions are also different.
right.
It all differs depending on the situation, depending on the place, depending on what is going on in the mind at that point of time. That also is to be taken into consideration. I think that's an old school of thought which is coming from my side.
Thank you so much, Gulshan sir. Okay, now there is one thing that I noticed. That is the placement of
Can I
these
say
arrows.
something?
Yes, please go ahead. Please tell me your name also.
Ma'am, my name is Tanuja. And
Yes, Tanuja.
ma'am, I can also notice the color of the skin. The skin tone is also different.
Yes, the skin tone is different. Could be that their nationalities are different.
Absolutely. And one more thing, when you say different nationalities, we can also take into consideration somebody is very near to you, very close to you, and somebody is at a far distance.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So now we have a set of points with this picture. Okay. Now I'm going to show you one more picture. Again, same 10 seconds. Oh, fine. Ta-dang! Yes, who would like to share first? Anybody, just unmute yourself.
Ma'am, can I?
Ma'am.
Yes, please tell me your name and then say.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon.
My name is Japjeet, and 4 things that I noticed here are: firstly, they all appear, in comparison to the previous picture, very young. They look like very well put together, and they all have different hairstyles. And there's a globe in the background of the lady in the center, so it shows that probably they are at different places and they're connected to each other somehow.
Okay, wonderful. Somebody else had also unmuted along with Japjeet. Thank you so much, Japjeet, for your response, by the way.
Yes, ma'am, Vandana. Facial
Yes,
expression,
Vandana.
ma'am. All are smiling.
All are smiling. Yes.
All of them have different hair colors.
Yeah, so they all are different nationalities. Okay. And they all have different hair color, eye color. They are happier, right? Okay. Yes, somebody else was saying something.
Yes, ma'am, they all have very brighter eyes.
Isme they are brighter, no? I'll show you this pic wherein both of them are there together. Both the pictures are here together. Okay. Now let us do a small comparison. This versus that. Here, if you notice, the arrow is going from one single person. to all the other people who are there sitting around. Whereas here, there is one person at the center. The arrows are everywhere, amongst each other, amongst the center person and the others. It is everywhere. What do these arrows suggest? Do they suggest something?
Maybe
The connection between people.
Who was this talking? Can you please tell me your name?
मैम मैं अभिलाष बोल रहा हूँ, आपको आवाज आ रही है मेरी?
Yes, Abhilash. Abhilash, just 1 minute. Somebody else was talking just before you.
Yes.
Ma'am, it's Niharika. Good afternoon.
Yes, Niharika. Yeah.
Ma'am, it shows the connection between different people. Sometimes it's just with one person, and sometimes it's among the whole group.
Right. That is connect. Yes, Abhilash. बोलिए.
मैम मेरी आवाज आ रही है आपको?
हाँ, एकदम.
मैम इसमें ये शो हो रहा है कि जैसे एक महिला है यहाँ पे, उसका मतलब पावर को यहाँ पे दर्शाया गया है कि मतलब एक महिला के द्वारा इस दुनिया में महिलाएं भी आए हैं और पुरुष भी आए हैं, मतलब उसकी शक्ति को यहाँ पे दिखाया जा रहा है.
Okay, you're saying women empowerment. अच्छा, ठीक है भाई. All right.
Also,
That's
ma'am, pass this side.
Yes, Savitaj.
In the picture on the right, there is connectivity from only one side. The woman on the top is connected towards the people, whereas in the other picture, they are interconnected. Both of them are approachable because the arrows are pointing towards both the directions.
Correct.
Agree, ma'am.
Agree, ma'am. Okay, wonderful.
Indira ma'am, I also want to give input. This is Chitra.
Please. Yes, Chitra ma'am.
if I would want to say this, I see it as in the picture on the right side, it is one-way communication, whereas on the left side, it is two-way, multiple communication, two-way communication.
Yes, exactly. Dekho, on the right side, it is one-way traffic. I am going on telling you, you all are going on listening and becoming naughty. The other side, it is what is happening actually right now. We all are talking together. Of course, not at the same time, but yeah, everybody is interacting. Okay. From there, we come down to something called as pedagogy and andragogy. Okay. Now, here I'm going to talk a little bit, and please have the patience to listen to me. That's my request. I know nobody likes listening, but still, we all are trying to enhance our listening skills. Okay. Now, pedagogy, basically the word pedagogy can be split into two words. That is pera. This is not peda, दूध पेड़ा नहीं है, और ना ही इसको पैदा बोलना. Please, this is peda. These are two words in Greek. Okay, the origin is Greek language. In Greek, one actually, peda means a child, whereas ago, this means a guide. I'm sorry, the inverted comma is not there. Sorry for that. This means a guide. So, pedagogy, actually, it means a child's guide. Sorry, this is not supposed to happen. This is a child's guide. Who is the guide of a child?
Teachers,
Parents,
family,
community,
teacher, community, the good part of the community. Huh? I'm sorry for being blatant. But yes, family, society, school, all these things together become the guide. Okay. Now, in pedagogy, there are two aspects. That is a teacher, The teacher can be anybody. It can be the parent, it can be the school teachers, the non-teaching staff in the school, the community, the society, the babysitter, it can be anyone. And the student or the learner. Okay, here we are going to, as far as possible, use the word learner and not student. Okay. Now in pedagogy, it is largely learner-centric. That is, everything is focused on the student. बच्चे को ये पढ़ाना है, बच्चे को वो पढ़ाना है, बच्चे को कुछ और भी सिखाना है, सब कुछ बच्चे से ही करवाना है. Okay, it is largely focused on the student, and additionally, all the major decisions are made by the teacher. Major decisions are made by the teacher. That means what? क्या पढ़ाएंगे, कैसे पढ़ाएंगे, क्लासरूम में कितने लेसन्स लेंगे, कितने क्लासेस एक लेसन के लिए अलॉट करेंगे, उसका टेस्ट कब लेना है, टेस्ट का कैसे लेना है, everything is decided by the teacher. And whether a child should learn one particular aspect or no, that is also decided by the teacher. All of you agree, disagree? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs up. Agree. वंदना इसलिए हाँ मैम, अग्री मैम, अभी आगे बोलो मैम. क्या हो गया? Okay, now I made these many points about pedagogy. Reflect back to the picture, this particular picture. You tell me which of these pictures speak about pedagogy. Is it the picture on the right? Sorry, my right. That is your right also. Or is it the picture on the left? You can use the chat box.
Left.
Left. All of you say left.
Left, ma'am. Right side. Yes, ma'am.
Picture on the left.
Picture on the left is pedagogy. Pakka.
Ma'am, right side.
Why do you say right side then?
Ma'am, where teacher is in the center and they are conveying the education they want to give to the students. So they are in the center and all the students are at the receiving end.
Okay, fine, accepted. Now those who are saying the picture on the left is pedagogy, please tell me why. Any one of you can just unmute and share your answer.
Ma'am,
yes, Kavita.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Kavita this side. Ma'am, as you said, pedagogy is learner-centric. The picture clearly shows it is learner-centric because all the arrows are pointing into the child, which is, I think, learner, which is in the center, and that's why I think it is learner-centric, and that's why it is pedagogy.
Okay, fine. Let us move forward.
Ma'am, but I feel it's right.
You
Shachi
feel it
this
is
side.
right. Yes, Shachi, please go ahead and say why.
Yes, ma'am, because I think so the teacher is taking the decisions there for all the students. The teacher is in a power position and she is giving the lecture, and the students have to absorb the decisions and the lecture.
Right.
I feel the right one.
So let us just see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Because although it is largely learner centric, because सब कुछ स्टूडेंट को सीखना है, टीचर क्या करेगी? टीचर सिखाएगी. Now where is my cursor? Yeah, here it is. Teacher is going to teach. Teacher सिखाएगी. And if you look at the last point, major decisions are made by the teacher. The teacher is the one who is going to provide the material. The teacher is the one who is going to explain what to do, how to do, why to do, when to do, and how much to do. Right? Everything, the major decision is made by the teacher alone. Whereas the student absorbs everything. Okay. That is why we have the picture on the right as pedagogy. Would anybody like to have a small debate on that? Or we shall do it later? Debate to hai.
Ma'am, I would like to say something.
Please go ahead, Tanuja.
Ma'am, actually, when we say teacher, a teacher is not only the one who is teaching us in school or college. A teacher can be a family member, a friend, sibling as well, peers as well. So here, if we look at the second picture, which was towards the left, we can say that here two-way communication was taking place. Teaching was two-way. As we say, teaching is a two-way process. So it was taking place when one person was learning from the other can also learn from the other person. So as our teachers also say in the classroom as well, that they also get to learn a lot from us. So I would like to say that second picture was also not wrong if teaching is concerned, or if we say teaching learning process is concerned.
Okay, thank you so much, Tanuja. Now, we are not talking about what is right or wrong. Okay, what your point is correct, but what is a mentor then? Who is a mentor? And wait, there is a point for your, I'm not saying a counter argument or anything, but now wait, we'll go to the next slide. Okay, and then we'll continue with this discussion. Is that okay, Tanuja? Let us look at what's there in the next slide. Is it okay?
Definitely.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, just a minute. Yeah. Here about pedagogy, is it okay, or you want me to repeat any of the point? Only about pedagogy. Is it okay? Are you okay with it? Clear with it?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, some of you are getting bored, no? I know. Okay, now comes the next word, that is andragogy. Andra, again, these words are of Greek origin. Okay, wherein andras, meaning man, basically not just man, a human. Okay, and what is the meaning of ago?
Guide.
Yes,
Guide.
very
Guide.
good. I intentionally put this question mark over here because I wanted one of you to answer. Ago meaning guide. Andragogy. So, what is the meaning of andragogy now? Pedagogy was a child's guide. Andragogy would be
Human guidance.
human guidance. Okay. Let's put it in a slightly more sophisticated manner. By man here, it means adult. Okay. A guide for an adult. All right. Here, the term teacher, if you remember in pedagogy, we used the term teacher and student or learner. In andragogy, the teacher transitions to being a facilitator. And the student or the learner is the same. So in pedagogy, we basically have two aspects. In pedagogy, we have teacher versus the learner. In andragogy, we have facilitator versus the learner. It is no longer the teacher. It is a facilitator. So that is where, Tanuja, your point comes in. The teacher is learning from other students also. The students are also learning from the teacher. It is like a two-way process. It is apna expressway, two-way traffic. Okay. So here again, the students, the focus is on the student or on the learner, but major decisions are made by the learner. Okay. Why major decisions are made by the learner? Anybody, just unmute yourself, please.
They are adults, so they are able to make their own decisions.
Exactly. Thank you, Niharika. Because they are adults, they can make their own decisions. They can make the decision on what to study, why to study, what is my intention. Because there are so many people who undertake so many different courses, right?
Ma'am, it can also mean having the flexibility to make
Yes.
decisions regarding the schedules and curriculum as well.
Absolutely, because they have the flexibility, okay, to decide what to study, to make their own schedules. And also there is an objective behind adult education or an adult undergoing education. Okay. For example, there are quite a few people who take up their bachelor's or master's degree from places like open universities. Like IGNOU is an example, Indira Gandhi National Open University. There are so many people who are taking their master's and bachelor's degree from there. Why? Because in their early years, they could not study much. The focus was something else. And then later, once they are settled in their life, they decided to pursue their studies, their higher studies. So that is one very big example. Then there are quite a few, what do you call it, professional courses, like the certification programs and workshops, seminars, all these things, there is an objective. In some of the professional courses, the certification programs actually help the learner in his or her professional career path. Okay. There are some professional courses which people have to undertake to be considered for promotions in the next upcoming year. So there is always a clear objective when it comes to andragogy. Okay. So here, which picture will be there? Naturally, it will be the second picture. Now, let me just talk a little bit about the second picture. When it comes to andragogy, can you make the adults sit in one place, just like how we do with the children? Okay, before I go there, is this much about andragogy clear? In that case, I'll just stop the screen share so that I can. Oh, yes, perfect. I'll just stop the screen share. Thank you so much. Wow, there are so many of you and it feels so nice. Okay, fine. Now, my question was this. Is it possible in an adult classroom? Why an adult classroom? This classroom itself. If I'm to go on talking, go on reading everything from the slide, will my objective be accomplished? Of course, my objective would be accomplished, which is just taking a class. But will your objective be accomplished?
No, ma'am.
No,
ma'am. No, ma'am.
What will you all write in the feedback? The session was boring. Man kept talking and talking. Just joking, but yes. The objective cannot be accomplished in that case, right? Because there are of course, you have so many doubts and you come across so many questions in your mind and you have a certain level of experience. I can assume at least 15 to 20 years of experience. So if I make a general statement that nobody feels hungry in the afternoon, and I keep on delivering lecture about it, why nobody feels hungry in the afternoon, and I don't give you an opportunity to counter-argue or counteract my statement, naturally you all will say, no, Baba, this teacher I don't want, or I don't want this facilitator at all, right? And if I keep hand-holding in each and every exercise with all of you, then again that becomes a very difficult task, no? You're like, हाँ मुझे पता है मेरे पीछे क्यों पड़ी है ये teacher, right? So that is the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Okay, quickly, I want one volunteer. Who can be a volunteer? Who is going to give me some instructions? I want one volunteer. Who can be a volunteer for me? हाथ ऊपर मत करो, just unmute करो और बोलो. Okay, Rupanshi, can you be the volunteer?
Ma'am, for what instructional process?
I'm going to give you, tell you what. Okay, so you are my volunteer.
Okay,
just give me 1 minute. I'm sharing the screen. I hope all of you can see my whiteboard.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Just give me a moment. Okay, now Rupanshi, assume that I am a 5-year-old kid. Okay, I'm a 5-year-old kid, and you have to teach me to write the letter capital A. You are going to teach me to write the letter capital A.
Okay.
And the others, all of you, what you're going to do is, you're not going to sit and enjoy the fun. Okay. All of you have to note few points as to what is happening in the class. You have to observe the class. All right.
Yes,
I hope my instructions are clear.
Yes,
na?
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Lovely. Chalo. So, Rupanshi, ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, chalo.
Ma'am, first I will teach that child to just basically draw some lines like
कैसा line, teacher?
Slanting lines.
Slant मतलब कैसे होता है?
टेढ़ा, तिरछा.
टेढ़ा. टेढ़ा मतलब ऐसे?
नहीं मैम. I will start from the straight line. First straight line.
Straight line, teacher ऐसे होता है ना?
Yes, ma'am. Almost.
Okay. अभी?
Ma'am, first child will practice it for some time so that he can make it just look perfect, and then I will teach the child to draw slanting lines.
Okay. So teacher, how do you draw slanting line, teacher?
मैम पहले जो है उसको पता तो होगा नहीं कि कैसे स्लांटिंग लाइन ड्रॉ करते हैं, तो उसके लिए बेसिक एक पैटर्न ड्रॉ कर दिया जाएगा डॉटेड, जिसपे उसको बताया जाएगा कि आपको इसके ऊपर ही जो है अपनी लाइन बनानी है.
Okay, fine. All right. ठीक है. Okay, fine. So you are saying, you are assuming that the child will know later what is a slanting line. Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. All right. Then you help the child say that you have to draw the letter A.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, fine. All right. Thank you so much, Rupanshi. Now I need another volunteer. Who can be
Yes,
volunteer?
ma'am. May I?
Okay. बाप रे, 2 लोग हैं. Don't worry. Okay, so first let Shachi be the volunteer, then Sahib Preet, you will be there. Okay. So
Okay.
Shachi, initially Rupanshi got a 5-year-old. Now Shachi is getting a 35-year-old lady to teach. She has never
Okay.
learnt in school before.
अच्छा, okay, ma'am.
उससे आपको A लिखवाना है.
Okay, ma'am.
हाँ, चलो, go ahead.
तो मैम अगर तो 5-year-old होता तो मैं I would have said
नहीं,
that draw.
5-year-old वगैरह वो सब छोड़ो.
Okay, ma'am.
I am a 35-year-old student and I have come to learn under you.
Okay, then I am assuming that you know Hindi.
हाँ ठीक है, मुझे
Yeah.
हिंदी आती है.
Yes, ma'am. So you are a 35-year-old. आपने बारिश तो देखी होगी. जो बारिश है वो ऐसे टेढ़ी तिरछी टाइप सी होती है, तो जैसे वो होती है आप उसकी तरह अगर कुछ लकीर बनाने की कोशिश करें.
तो मैं बारिश को बनाऊं?
बारिश की बूंदें जैसे गिरती हैं
तो वो ऐसे ऐसे होती है.
हाँ जी. अब
अच्छा,
ऐसे
ठीक
ही
है.
दूसरी तरफ भी बनाने की कोशिश करें, अगर पहाड़ की तरह बन जाए जैसे.
टीचर, मैं पहाड़ बनाऊं या बारिश की बूंदें बनाऊं?
आपने पहले बारिश की बूंदें अब बना ली हैं, अब
हाँ.
इसको एक पहाड़ की लुक देनी है हमने, तो अब वैसा बनाइए.
ये बारिश पहाड़ कैसे बनता है?
देखिए, आप जो सबसे ऊपर वाला कोना है आपकी बारिश का, जहां से बारिश शुरू हो रही है, उसकी दूसरी साइड पहाड़ बनाने की
हाँ.
कोशिश करें.
तो अच्छा, तो मतलब इसको मैं उल्टा करूं?
हाँ जी, इसकी उल्टा साइड जैसे शीशे में ये दिखेगा इसका वैसे बनाइए.
अब शीशा तो नहीं है यहाँ पे दिखाने के लिए, देखने के लिए सर. ओके फाइन, ऑल
So I
राइट,
tried
थैंक
a
यू.
bit.
नो
Enjoyed
प्रॉब्लम.
the activity.
थैंक यू शाची. ओके, साहिब प्रीत.
Yes, good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So I am a 80-year-old student.
Okay, ma'am.
चलो, अभी मेरे से लेटर ए लिखवाना है आपको.
So, ma'am, मतलब कुछ भी नहीं आता, 80 years old है.
नहीं, उनको कुछ नहीं आता है.
Okay, ma'am. So, मैं पहले उन्हें एक पार्क में लेके जाऊंगी.
हाँ.
I will
तो
took
आप
that
मुझे
person
घुमा
to.
रहे हो? मैंने तो घर वालों को बोला है कि मैं स्कूल जा रही हूँ और आप मुझे पार्क लेके घुमा रहे हो.
नहीं मैम, घर वालों की कंसेंट के साथ के बच्चों को घुमाने लेने जाना.
अच्छा, लेकिन मैं तो बच्ची नहीं हूँ.
नहीं मैम, मतलब जो सीखने आया है 80 years old है, तो
अच्छा ठीक है,
एक पार्क में
चलो.
लेके जाएंगे और उससे एक मतलब एक झूला होता है ना मैम, दैट शेप्स लाइक ए, मतलब
हाँ.
तो आई विल शो दैट टू दैट
हाँ,
पर्सन.
तो मैं झूला ड्रॉ करूँ अभी?
वैसा कुछ एग्जैक्ट झूला नहीं, कि मतलब जैसे उसकी लाइंस है तो सिर्फ वैसा ड्रॉ करना है.
अच्छा, तो मैंने एक झूला बना दिया और इसका ये दो रस्सी बना दिया.
ऐसे
अभी
नो मैम, नॉट लाइक दिस. मुझे उसका झूले का नाम, लाइक वी हैव स्टेयर्स वन साइड.
अच्छा, वो जो टेढ़ा
यस
टेढ़ा,
मैम, यस
वो
यस मैम,
टेढ़ा टेढ़ा वाला झूला.
यस मैम,
अच्छा
लाइक
अच्छा,
दिस.
कोई ना, वो हम लोग आम के पेड़ पे बांध के बनाते हैं.
Yes.
अच्छा. हाँ. Okay, fine, wonderful, good, good, good.
Thank
Everyone, all three of you, Rupanshi, Saipreet, and Shaji, good, excellent efforts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So I'll just stop sharing the screen. Now let us go to our observers. Let us see. Daman Sharma.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So have you made any observations with this activity?
That, ma'am, different age groups, we teach differently.
Yes, with
We give
different age
different
groups.
examples to the different age groups.
Right. Okay, 1 minute. I'll once again share my screen. Here. Okay. With different age groups. Okay. What else? What else was your observation? Okay, no problem. So Akshita Joshi.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. What were your observations?
Ma'am, all of them tried their own. All of them tried their different way to teach different like as she said, like different age groups, but they tried their own strategies.
Yes, everybody tried their own strategies. Okay, perfect. Now, so may I ask Pooja? Pooja, can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what did you observe?
Ma'am, there are some difficulties when we are not in the one-to-one interaction.
Okay, what were the difficulties?
Ma'am, like there are miscommunication.
Like?
Miscommunication.
What kind of miscommunication?
Ma'am, in some cases, you are not able to grab that thing. Then how to draw these lines or something?
So you are saying the basic set of instructions.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, instructions. All right, fine. Okay, Nidhi Gupta, did you observe anything?
Yes, ma'am. That every individual is different and has their different problem-solving strategies, and also the different age groups have their different learning abilities and intelligence to know or to learn something.
Yes, different problem-solving strategies, and yes, learn different. Okay, now let us come to the debrief. Any other interesting points, any one of you?
Ma'am, I want to add something.
Yes, please go ahead. Can you tell me your name also?
Sahib Preet, ma'am.
Yes, Sahib.
Ma'am, like we can also teach by taking a nail cutter. If we open that, मतलब अगर हम उसे उस shape में करें तो that also take the shape of A.
Yes, so
If
using
the learner is not interested in going outside, so
right. So using all the live examples.
Ma'am, may I say something?
Yes, please go ahead.
Ma'am, there were examples from real life objects. Teachers tried to make them understand through daily interfaces.
Right. So
Yes,
that was something which I noticed also. Okay. Using daily. Yes, Tripti, please go ahead.
Another thing, online learning might be more difficult for younger students since they don't have as much experience to understand.
ये तो हम लोग we are assuming that we are offline.
Okay.
That's why वो तो मुझे park ले गई ना.
Yes, okay.
She took me to the park. Okay, fine.
Ma'am, I would like to add.
Can I say something?
Yes. 1 minute. There are two of you. Who was that? I would like to add Japjeet, right? Yes, Japjeet, go ahead.
Ma'am, I think the learning instruction should be based upon whatever the learner already knows and start from there. It should not confuse the learner, just like out front, like telling something which is so out of their knowledge that they lose their interest. Or their mind goes to different directions, like what is बारिश की बात अगर कर रहे हैं, अगर छोटे बच्चे को बोल रहे हैं, so a lot of other pop-ups would come into their mind and they would not be very attentive towards what is being taught. So if I was in that place, I would start with probably the shape. If they're familiar with shapes, asking them to draw a triangle and then extend the two sides. So
okay, thank you so much, Japjeet. That is one thing, like the instruction should be very much learner-centric. More on that, but along with Japjeet, somebody had unmuted. Who was that? Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I was about to say what Japjeet said, but adding to it, I would like to say that teaching learning process is not only limited to classroom only. Real life objects, as you said, and nature, environment, the things present in the nature, Sachi gave example of mountains and direction of rain. Then Sahib took example of slide, and so such examples can be incorporated to teach a student.
Correct, absolutely. So now here, if you notice, there were 3 different age groups that the teachers had to deal with. A 5-year-old, 35-year-old, and an 80-year-old. Okay.
I would like to add something.
Yes, Sarika, please go ahead.
मैम उनकी मेंटल एज भी तो डिफरेंट है, तो वो भी एक इफेक्टिव पॉइंट है टीचिंग के लिए.
That's what I was coming to. That's exactly what I was coming to. Yeah. So,
मैम मैं भी कहना चाहता हूँ एक बात।
yeah.
मैंने एक बात ऑब्जर्व की है कि जब टीचर पढ़ा रहा था स्टूडेंट को, मतलब तीनों स्टूडेंट को, तो वो स्टूडेंट की बीच बीच में सिंपल सी क्वेरीज आ रही थी, तो पेशेंटली जो टीचर है वो मतलब वो चीज को वो कंफ्यूजन को दूर कर रहा है, नहीं ऐसे नहीं ऐसे, वो मतलब टीचर का बहुत अच्छा रोल था उसमें।
Right. So 3 different age groups hai. 5, 35 and 80. Okay. 80-year-old has a lot of daily life experience. इनका लाइफ का ही एक बहुत बड़ा एक्सपीरियंस है. She or he has seen life in a very different light, and they have gone through a lot of things. They have witnessed a lot of changes. Perhaps they might have even seen the World War.
Ma'am, you are not audible.
We lost Indraji, your voice.
Hello, hello. Am I audible now?
Now it's okay. Please go ahead.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I think my internet connection was unstable. Okay, I'm audible now, na?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay,
Please go
thank
ahead.
you so much. I'm so sorry for losing it in between. Yeah, so I was saying that there were 3 different age groups, and all 3 of them have got very different life experience. Okay, the 80-year-old might have even seen the World War or the different wars going on, and she or he has definitely seen the food shortage. They have witnessed a lot of different things that we learn in our history. Okay, so they have a completely different viewpoint of life. And that is one exact thing why when Sahib Preet tried to teach the 80-year-old how to write A, she quoted the example of a swing. Okay. And first she was trying to talk about the swing that is found in the park. Okay. And suddenly when this 80-year-old student realized, oh, ये तो वो झूले की बात कर रही है, उसी का shape बनाना है. So then immediately what struck the student was the jhula she used to see as a kid and the jhula on which she has played in her childhood. Okay. So there is a generation gap, but everywhere the generation gap is being bridged. That is one very important point. Our students might be 5-year-old, our students might be 80-year-old. Whoever our students are, whoever we are catering to, we should know to bridge the generation gap. Okay, taking into consideration the generation gap, we need to teach the students. That is one very big challenge. And as Abhilash rightly pointed out, explaining it very patiently. ऐसे नहीं, हाँ अभी उसको उल्टा दूसरी तरफ भी ऐसे टेढ़ा लाइन बनाओ. Okay. So once I don't know how many of you noticed, I created some dotted lines on one side. Now she said, okay, just the way you see the same line in the mirror, you have to recreate that same line that you see in the mirror. Okay, but the student was not able to connect it very properly. Still, the teacher was patient enough, quoting all different examples and trying to make the line. Okay, that is another very big thing which all of us as teachers have to keep in mind. Patience, serving the generation, filling the shoes of the person, of the student. We have to think from the shoes of the student. A 5-year-old, we cannot assume the 5-year-old knows the shape of the swing and, he or she can draw it. But an 80-year-old can, a 30-year-old also can. But a 30-year-old might end up making all different minor mistakes. Right? Okay, so from here, let us go back to our pedagogy, andragogy topic. And let us look at what are some of the challenges that we might come across. Now, challenges you all have had. the first-hand experience, right? All of you. So, sorry, before the challenges, it's not the challenges. We are going to have a complete outline of what is different between the two, pedagogy and andragogy. Okay. Pedagogy, it is largely a method of teaching children. We focus on the chuntus, at least up to the age of 18. Okay, even the teens. I know the teens don't consider themselves as children. I have one tween in my house, so I can say that. It is a method of teaching children, whereas andragogy is largely the method of teaching adults. It is more of adult education. Okay, all your open universities are all andragogy, whereas schools and colleges to some extent, not completely, but to some extent, colleges are all pedagogical. That is why we say pedagogical content knowledge or curricular knowledge, PCK. Okay, it is pedagogical because it is for the children, it is for the student, for the younger students or the younger citizens, as I may be daring enough to say. Second point is the dependency. Pedagogy, the learners are dependent on the teachers. Teacher जो कहती हैं वो हम सुनते हैं, उसी को हम follow करते हैं. Of course, now things are changing a little, but still it is learner dependent. If we go back and look at this picture, okay, this is of pedagogy. Why? Because it is dependent on the teacher. The teacher will give instruction, the teacher will distribute materials, the teacher will design the homework, the teacher will design the project, the teacher will design the assessment. The student will learn, the student will complete the homework. The student has the freedom to do the project and the homework in their own ways. Okay, there is no standard format. There is no hard and fast rule ki bhai, all the P's in your homework should look only like this, or all the B's should look only like this. Kind of freedom the student has. Every student writes it in his or her own way. But the teacher will decide what should be written and what should be given. Okay. Then, what happens in andragogy? Yes, did somebody unmute? Okay, I assume not. What happens in andragogy? Andragogy is largely a two-way interaction. Here, it is everybody interacts with everyone. The teacher is interacting with all the students around. The students are also interacting with each other. Okay. So what happens in this interaction process is the teacher is updating her knowledge. The teacher is also updating her curriculum, her syllabus. The teacher decides, अच्छा, इसको math में ज़्यादा interest नहीं है, इसको ज़्यादा history and art ज़्यादा पसंद है, चलो, इसका math का content थोड़ा कम करते हैं, let him or her learn all about history and art. अच्छा, this one is more focused on chemistry, इसको सारे reactions and everything बहुत पसंद है, and he loves being in the kitchen. So let us impart some cooking skills to this person. That is, indirectly speaking, it is largely customized. The method of delivery is to quite an extent customized. Okay, that is what happens in andragogy. So here, it is more customized. That is, the facilitator decides whether or not to teach some aspects to the particular student, and the student also tells a facilitator, "Nahi, mujhe wo portion mat sikhao, teach me this part." I can say this for sure because I am also a student. I'm still doing a master's in education. So I tell my facilitator, I tell my mentor, मैम मुझे ये तो ठीक है, ये अच्छा है, I have no problem with this portion. Can you teach me with what is variant and what is hypothesis? I keep saying that. So that is, learner is also independent, the facilitator is also to an extent independent, and the facilitator keeps, if I may use the word, customize the content delivery. All right. Now, I discussed 2 points. Any doubts in this so far?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am. Acha, very nice. Okay, then wait. Now let me tell you something. Shivangi, can you please read the third point in pedagogy?
Learners have less or no experience to share, hence teaching become didactic. Sorry, ma'am.
No problem. Hey, you don't have to be sorry. Huh? All of us create a lot of mistakes. Well, the mistakes I have created, you won't even believe it. Anyway, so learners have less or, what do you understand by that? Learners have less or no experience to share.
Ma'am, like if there is a
Ma'am, I would.
Okay, 2 of you talking together. Yes, Preet, please go ahead.
Ma'am, like if there is a 5-year-old child, then he or she might have no experience. A little bit of experience like of home or peers. मतलब उससे ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस नहीं होगा कि जो फैमिली से सीखा या जो फ्रेंड से कुछ थे उनसे सीखा, वो बिल्कुल फ्रेशर होगा कि जो टीचर बताएगी वही सब कुछ ठीक है. मतलब वी हैव सीन कि बच्चे ज्यादातर टीचर की बात ही मानते हैं.
Okay, fine. All right. Thank you so much, Preet. Tenzin, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Tenzin's iPhone.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So Tenzin, can you please read the third point under andragogy?
Learners are experienced, hence teaching involves discussions, problem solving, etc.
Okay, so what do you mean by that? What do you understand from that?
Learners learns through experiencing by discussion and also problem solving.
Okay, why do you think learners are experienced over here?
Because learner is adult.
Because they.
Yes, because they are adults.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because they are adults, we can quote, we have more freedom to quote those daily life examples.
Yes, ma'am.
Random examples also we can dare to use when it comes to andragogy. Okay.
May I add something, ma'am?
Yes, please go ahead, Sarika.
एंड्रागोजी बेसिकली हम हायर एजुकेशन में यूज करते हैं. जो पीएचडी स्कॉलर्स है, रिसर्चर्स है, उसमें ज्यादातर एंड्रागोजी का मतलब यूज किया जाता है टीचिंग मेथड्स में, मोस्टली हायर एजुकेशन में. तो वहाँ पे जो लर्नर्स कह सकते हैं, स्टूडेंट्स होते हैं, वो डिस्कशन मेथड से प्रॉब्लम सॉल्विंग होता है. डिस्कशन मेथड से वो डिस्कस करते हैं और अपने प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करते हैं. तो उसमें लर्नर्स होते हैं, वो कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा बहुत उनको एक्सपीरियंस गेन हो चुका होता है वो हायर एजुकेशन तक पहुंचते पहुंचते. सो दिस इज माय पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू.
Okay, thank you so much, Sarika. How many of you agree to Sarika's point? Savitaj agrees. Who else? I'll just stop the screen share for a minute. Those who agree, give a thumbs up. Those who do not agree, give a thumbs up. Okay, those who do not agree, no need to put any thumbs. Okay. All right. Akshita is also showing this. Megha, okay, okay. All right. Anjali is also agreeing. And Abhilash agrees. Shivani agrees. All right. So, now may I ask Priyanka? I did not see your thumbs up sign. Can you tell me why?
मैम मैंने लगाया था आई थिंक.
आपने लगाया था? अच्छा, वो disappear हो गया.
Yes.
All right. That who did not put a thumbs up sign, please unmute. I want to hear your viewpoint.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, go ahead, Norzam.
Yes, ma'am. I think it do not necessarily requires for the PhD, anyone who is doing PhD, any person who is illiterate or who wants to learn something new, they can also go through the andragogy method, because they have experienced many things in life, and they have discussed, even like in their life, they have discussed, for example, family matters or what politics or whatever the topic they have gone through. So they can apply that similar thing in the learning, whatever they are learning.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Norzam. So it is not, andragogy is not necessarily only higher education. Okay, that is one thing which all of you have to understand. Andragogy is not just higher education. Any adult learning in the later stage of life, that is after the age of 18. 18, you are officially an adult, right? After the age of 18, any adult learning or studying is undergoing the process of andragogy. Okay. It is not necessary higher education. Okay. There are a lot of other things as well. Like, for example, I know enough people. All right. Can you all just give me 1 minute? I'll just shift my room from here. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I'll continue talking. Yeah. So, we're talking about andragogy. There are enough people who are now trying to learn. Some of them are from, they learned till grade 4, and then they left schooling. Okay. And then many girls especially, then after they left their schooling, they got married, they have children. Now their family is settled. They even have grandchildren. And now they want to continue learning. So the government of India has, not only government of India, many of the state governments, I know for sure in Maharashtra and Karnataka, they all have introduced these different schemes for all the adults to restart, continue, and complete the education at least up to the degree level. Okay. And there are many of them who are doing it also. Hello? Am I audible to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Okay. So, yeah, and government of India has introduced very beautiful schemes for that. And there are people who are doing it. Like somebody very close to me, she's going to write her 12th standard exam in the next in the sense in this upcoming October 2023. She'll be writing her 12th exams in science, that too. Okay. So there are quite a few. So adult education is any adult above the age of 18 trying to get educated, trying to complete their education for whatever purposes. Might be their personal purpose, it might be professional, it might be anything. But that largely is andragogy. Am I clear to all of you, or am I just doing bug? I'm clear, no?
Yes, you're clear, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
fine.
ma'am.
All of us, we clap for ma'am together. Come on. Let's clap for Indra ma'am. Come on. Yes. She's doing a wonderful program. Wonderful. Please. Wonderful, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So sometimes I also feel, am I boring people? Okay, now let us continue with our differences in pedagogy versus andragogy. Okay. Now, in pedagogy, there is a set outlined curriculum. Okay, that children of this much up to say 7 years, they must learn at least not learn, they must be able to read 3-letter words, and they should be able to do addition up to two numbers, add two numbers without carryover, then some with carryover, subtract without borrowing, blah, blah, blah. All these things are outlined. And then in 10th standard, they must solve so many problems and everything, right? There is an outlined syllabus. But in andragogy, the content is always modified as per the need. Whose need? As per the learner's need. Okay, that is andragogy. You can change the content as per your need. You can actually take in some, you can do permutation combination. Now, of course, with the NEP in force, we have a lot of different permutation combinations, especially after 12th. Okay, you can take psychology and physics together, you can take chemistry and math together, you can do a lot of different things, a lot of different combinations. I keep saying chemistry because I'm a chemistry teacher. So in pedagogy, whatever is served to you, it is like a thali. Okay, pedagogy is like a thali. Andragogy is a la carte. Whatever is there in the menu, you can choose from the menu and you can order. That is andragogy. Okay, abhi kabhi nahi bhulna. Pedagogy is your thali.
Excuse me, ma'am. I have a question.
Yes, please. Yes, go ahead, please.
Ma'am, with andragogy, you said that it is like a menu. But then if I am an adult person and I am trying to learn, like I'm trying to get my 10th certificate. So I'll have to learn that curriculum only, na?
No, there is a difference. Okay, because if you're trying to appear for your 10th exams, you can also choose some of the vocational courses. It is not necessary that you have to, write your social studies and science and math paper. The same thing you have to write. It's not necessary. There are equivalent exams also. You can take up vocational trainings also. So you can do that.
That is not applicable in pedagogy. Like if I'm in 10th and if I know I cannot give vocationals.
As a private candidate, you can choose. Okay. But now, as far as my information is concerned, again, let me tell you. As far as my information is concerned, the standard certificate, for the standard basic certificate, you cannot choose. There is a set curriculum. Okay. Yes, you can choose between languages. You can also go for vocational trainings and all that. But those will be added certifications. But beyond a certain age limit, you can choose. That is what I'm saying. Am I clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
I think Savita
Yes,
was
ma'am.
asking, no? Okay, fine. All right. There were two people. Along with Savita, somebody else also had unmuted.
Yes, ma'am. It was me.
Yes, ma'am.
जी मैम, मैं यहाँ अपना एक्सपीरियंस शेयर करना चाहूंगी।
Please go ahead.
जैसे हम एंड्रागोजी की बात कर रहे हैं मैम, तो बेसिकली जो मैंने एक्सपीरियंस किया, मैं कॉलेज टीचर हूँ और मुझे लगता है कि हम एंड्रागोजी को पैडागोजी की तरह ही प्रैक्टिस करे जा रहे हैं। वी आर नॉट गिविंग देम जी we are not giving those options or alternatives to our students कि वो अपनी पसंद से चूज कर सके. We are not giving them.
आपकी आवाज चलेगी निशा मैम. निशा मैम, you have gone on mute. निशा मैम.
जी सर. जी हाँ जी. तो मैं यही कह रही थी कि हमें अपने टीचिंग प्रैक्टिसेस को अपने करिकुलम में भी काफी चेंज लाना पड़ेगा, बिकॉज एंड्रागोजी को पेडागोजी की तरह ही हम डॉक्टरेट तक पढ़ाते जा रहे हैं.
Very true, very true. In fact, that was going to be my closing sentence at the end of the session कि भाई हम लोग यहाँ पे एंड्रागोजी में भी पेडागोजी को ही लेके आते हैं.
Then I'm sorry, मैंने आपकी concluding remarks को अब आपको थोड़ा flexible.
जो डायलॉग को
Indra ma'am, with your permission and with your consent, I wish to share with you that Dr. Nisha Singh ma'am is coordinating this entire program with all this wonderful youth which we have got from Sector 20 College of Chandigarh. Is the oldest and the prestigious college, and she's a mathematician. And in andragogy, I've already requested her, we should work on music for mathematics and music for education.
Actually, yeah, we will discuss on this after this session, because
Thank you, ma'am.
dance is something I always incorporate in mathematics.
We know, I don't know whether Arpit has introduced or not, but I learned, Bharatanatyam so well, and you have been giving so many performances and all. I learned from my team. So our deep gratitude. Wonderful, ma'am. Let's go ahead, please. It's going on very well. In fact, we all are learning so well, and it's very enjoyable session. And all the participants, I would request you, please post your views on the YouTube channel also, because this particular program is going global. People are watching you world over. And this particular session will be shared by all non-resident Indians and their children world over. Please try and appreciate. You do not know how important you are, Kesang, Kavita, Akshita, Nisha, Norzom, and Rupanshi, and Shring, and Shivangani, and Tashi, and Sonali, and Varsha, and Abhilash, and Sachi. तो ये सारे के सारे जितने भी हैं, Priyanka and Varsha, everybody, please, you do not know how valuable and how important you are today. And Indra ma'am is taking such a wonderful session. I'm enjoying, and I'm feeling that I've joined the school once again. It's so wonderful. We all should enjoy this session. Participate actively, learn as much as you can, pick up, participate enthusiastically, because every time on my list, Savita comes on the top. She is not my relative. I do not know her even. I do not know her background, but I'm noting down all the names over here. Those are asking, those are participating, and Indra ma'am is conducting it so beautifully, because when you miss, she always spots you and she tells your name and she brings you in the discussions and program. So please participate very well. Clap for yourself. I know today you all are at home. You all are enjoying. You had a wonderful paratha from your mother, but don't go to sleep. Enjoy this session. Okay? Go ahead. Go ahead. Indra ma'am, please go ahead, please.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir. Okay, so now coming back. Now the content, we spoke about this particular point, the fourth point, right? The content is, or the curriculum is tailor-made. Then next point, teachers have to direct the learner. बच्चा, आप पहले एक छोटा सा पहाड़ बनाओ, और वो दोनों पहाड़ के बीच में एक छोटा सा स्लीपिंग लाइन बनाओ, आपका बन गया ए, राइट? वो पहाड़ भी बनाने नहीं आता है बच्चों को. Sometimes we ask a child, okay, hold it like this, then from your left down to right up, draw one line, slanting line. We do so many different things, right? And we give them step-by-step instruction. But step-by-step, there is one small story. I'll share that later. There's a step-by-step instruction that we give to the learner or the wonderful chuntu little students, right? Whereas in andragogy, the learners are motivated. नहीं, मुझे सीखना है, मुझे ये कोर्स करना है. I need that particular certification. If I don't get it, I may not be promoted. Right? There is a self-motivation. If I don't learn this course, then I will not be able to upskill myself. If I don't upskill, I will never be able to even operate my Google Sheets. I'll have to be dependent on that one colleague who is never there in the office. Right? I'm not talking about myself. Huh? Anyway, so here in andragogy, the learners are self-motivated. The motivation comes from within. In pedagogy, like, मम्मी ने बोला स्कूल जाना है, मम्मी ने बोला 12th पास होना है, मम्मी ने बोला साइंस पढ़ना है, right? मम्मी, पापा, teacher, anybody, you can replace that mummy with anyone you like or not like or whatever, up to you. Then the learning is, this is the last point which I want one of you to explain. Take 10 seconds, read this point Learning is curriculum oriented in pedagogy. Learning is curriculum oriented in andragogy. Take 10 seconds. Think about it.
May I?
No, wait. 10 seconds only though.
Okay.
10. Yes, Niharika, go ahead.
Ma'am, in pedagogy, basically the student learn according to the curriculum. Everything is planned and teacher is guiding them. Whereas in andragogy, they are goal oriented. They know what they want to achieve and they know their objectives. So जो उनका वर्किंग फोर्स है वो सिर्फ इसलिए होता है क्योंकि उनको एक गोल अचीव करना है और उन्हें पता है कि उन्हें क्या अचीव करना है.
Right. Okay. Good point. So I'm taking
May I add
these
something?
one
May
minute,
I add something?
One minute. So from Niharika, I've taken these 2 points, planned and it is objective oriented. Yes, Saitri. I'm sorry to cut you. मुझे ये बोलना था. Yes, Saitri. Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, like in pedagogy, learning is curriculum oriented. So the syllabus is fixed, curriculum is fixed. The student can't skip. Like if I don't have interest in maths, so I can skip. I can't skip that. I have to study maths.
Right.
But in andragogy, it is goal oriented. Student knows कि मेरा interest किस field में है, so he or she can skip maths and go in that particular field.
All of us are making villains of math, no? Okay. Any other point? Anybody?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
I want to
first
say-
Ankita and then Priyanka. Yes, Ankita, please go ahead.
Ma'am, Akshita.
Sorry, Akshita.
Yes,
Yeah.
ma'am. Learning pedagogy is curriculum oriented. मतलब उसमें set of rules है, उसके हिसाब से ही चलना है, वैसे ही पढ़ाना है. And the other one, andragogy is goal oriented. मतलब एक short term goal होगा, उसको हम change भी कर सकते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. उसमें थोड़ा जो learner है वो adult है, तो उसके हिसाब से उसमें changes हो जाएंगे. But curriculum
Adult है, चल जाएगा सब. हाँ.
बट उधर तो करिकुलम एक सेट है, उसमें सेट रूल्स हैं, तो फिर उसी के हिसाब से ही करना होगा.
Okay. All right. Yes, Priyanka, go ahead.
मैम आई थिंक करिकुलम जो है हम सेशन शुरू होने से पहले ही डिजाइन कर लेते हैं कि हमें बच्चों को क्या पढ़ाना चाहिए और या क्या पढ़ाया जाएगा. और करिकुलम के भी 2 पार्ट्स आ जाते हैं. एक हिडन करिकुलम होता है और एक करिकुलम होता है जो कि क्लास में टीचर के थ्रू पढ़ाया जाता है. हिडन करिकुलम इज समथिंग विच इज जो वैल्यूज इनकलकेट की जाती हैं इनडायरेक्टली बच्चों के अंदर, वो आई थिंक करिकुलम ओरिएंटेड होता है स्कूल में. एंड गोल ओरिएंटेड जो है इसमें जो बच्चे जो कोई भी है वो अपने गोल के हिसाब से पढ़ाई करता है. तो
Okay, fine. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Yes, who was this?
This is me.
Yes, Nisha ma'am. Please
हाँ
go
जी,
ahead.
मैम अभी आपने थोड़ी देर पहले बताया था that you are pursuing MA education. I think that also links to this point that you are pursuing that particular course to achieve some goal.
Yes, perfectly.
So it's
Right.
goal oriented.
It is goal oriented. So, as most of you pointed out, things are planned, the curriculum is preset, it is compulsory, they don't have a choice. Okay, because government has already said yes, 4th, 10th, it is compulsory education for all the children, right? That is where pedagogy comes in. Okay, there are a set of rules, that is 35% लाना है, pass होना ही है, and there is a final exam, you have to bring so much marks as the average, you have to pass. That is pedagogy. That is one of the visions. Okay, this I am explaining it in very, very simple terms. Actually, it is not so simple. Okay, in very, very simple terms, there are a set of rules, there are a set of assessments, and you have to score this much, and there are a lot of different nits and bolts in that. In andragogy, it is more learner motivated. Okay, like I am working in the education industry now. Just as Nisha ma'am rightly pointed out, I have a particular goal for doing my MA in education industry because I'm working in the education industry, but I have no degree in education. Yes, I have enough experience. I've seen enough. I've traveled enough, visited enough schools, and seen enough classrooms to talk about education, to give enough background on education. And I've done enough research on art integration to actually give lectures to BEd students on art integration. But beyond that, I don't have a degree in education. That is my personal goal, because after achieving the degree, I wish to do my research work in art integration. That is my goal. And that is one reason why I am doing this andragogical work of doing a master's in education. Okay, that is the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Once again, just to recap, where is my cursor? Yeah. This is one disadvantage of the pen tablet. I can't find the cursor ever.
मैम मैं एक बात ऐड करना चाहता हूँ.
हाँ बोलिए अभिलाष.
मैम जैसे आपने पूछा लर्निंग इज करिकुलम ओरिएंटेड इन पेडागोजी, तो इस पे मैंने ऑब्जर्व किया कि जैसे आपने बताया कि सब कुछ टीचर के कंट्रोल में ही होता है, स्टूडेंट कुछ नहीं कर सकता. जो स्टूडेंट के आगे अभी ये परोस दिया गया कि हाँ भाई ये स्टेप्स है, ये तुमको पूरा करना ही पड़ेगा. लेकिन एंड्रोगोजी में हम लोग देख रहे हैं कि परिस्थिति के अनुसार सब कुछ मतलब बदल सकते हैं हम अपने अनुसार. जैसे आपने ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी की बात की, इग्नू की बात की, तो उसमें जैसे हमारी परिस्थिति अलग हो गई है अभी, लेकिन हमको परस्यू करना है पढ़ाई, तो हम काम करते करते भी अपनी पढ़ाई को कर रहे हैं, तो इसीलिए वो गोल ओरिएंटेड हो गया एंड्रोगोजी में.
Yes, exactly. Same जो curriculum oriented है उसी को हम goal oriented बना रहे हैं. Okay, like sharing my personal experience for the second year MA in education, we have a choice of subjects. One is administration in education. Second is something I'm not able to exactly recollect. I'm sorry about that. But the third is technology and education. Okay, and I have chosen technology and education. That is my choice because my interest is how to empower children, how to empower teachers more than students, how to empower teachers with technology and implement it in education, how to bring in art into education. I mean, fit it in along with your other subjects like math and science or English, whatever. Okay. So that becomes goal oriented, plus you have the fourth point. The content modified according to the learner's need. I got a choice of subject. Now, because my interest is in technology and integrating art, I chose my subject according to my need. Right? That is andragogy. That is the difference between andragogy and pedagogy. Okay. Now, moving forward, we're going to have some fun. अभी क्या करने वाली हूँ? I'm giving you exact. I hope all of you have a pen and paper with you. है कि नहीं है?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, very good, children.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Now, this is what you have to do. ये इतने shapes है. Make a rocket. Build a rocket. You have 30 seconds.
Done, ma'am.
28, 29, 30. Now I'll just stop my screen share. And I hope everybody has got your cameras on.
Yes, ma'am.
Please show me your rockets, everyone. इधर रॉकेट बोला तो इधर हेलीकॉप्टर उड़ रहा है. वाओ, शाची के रॉकेट से आग निकल रहा है. Norzom, a little closer. Nice one. Okay, nice, Sahibpreet. Shivangi, दिखाओ. Don't show your face, just show me your rocket. Nice, Rupanshi. Okay, Shivangi. Yes, Sonali. Good, good. पूजा थोड़ा बड़ा बना सकती थी, इतना बड़ा पेज है उसमें इतना चुंटू सा रॉकेट बना है. प्रियंका ऑल्सो सच a चुंटू रॉकेट she has made. Dipali, very nice. Nice, Niharika. Who else has made? Let me just check. Yes, Padma, nice one. Navjot, thank you so much. Ishring Udol, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. I really don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, that's nice. Thank you, Harshita. Good. Reena. Nisha ma'am, आपने नहीं बनाया? आपको तो बनाना चाहिए था. I was looking forward.
मैम मैंने इमेजिन कर लिया. I can
अच्छा,
explain you कि
imagine
कैसे
कर
किया. I
लिया.
don't have paper and pen with me, ma'am. If you
Okay.
allow.
Nisha ma'am, I think we lost you. Hello? Yes, thank you, Vandana. Vandana के मोदक जैसे दिख रहे हैं रॉकेट. Okay, very nice, Shivangi. Okay, good, Kavita. Nice, nice. Okay, fine. Now, yes, thank you, Nidhi. Now we'll just move forward. We just lost Nisha ma'am, and that's okay. Now, answer some questions. Okay, you can just use a chat box or just give me 1 minute. There is some kind of a, yeah. You can use a chat box to answer. What did all of you make? Or you can just unmute yourself and say.
Rocket.
All of you made rocket. Okay. How many shapes were used?
Ma'am, 3.
3. Okay, fine. Oh, somebody actually used a shortcut. What did all of you make? तो किसी ने rocket का emoticon डाला है. Wow, height of technology. Good, good, good. How many circles were there?
3.
How many rectangles? How many rectangles?
One rectangle.
One.
Shivangi is feeling very sleepy. 3, ma'am. 1, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No,
Not feeling sleepy.
Okay, there was 1 rectangle. You used 3 circles. You used 3 triangles. Okay. Why did you all use only these shapes?
Because you told us to use the shapes which were on the screen.
Ma'am, because we were given a limited choice.
Pedagogy. Huh?
Because
you
ma'am, we
have
were
asked
given with these shapes only.
Acha, because I gave you only these shapes. All I said is using the shapes make a rocket. Did I use the term using these shapes make a rocket? No. This is the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. If there are no customized, bordered instructions, coming back to what Dr. Nisha ma'am, not Dr. Nisha, I'm sorry, what Nisha ma'am pointed out a while back, हम तो andragogy पे pedagogy की तरह बनाते हैं. This is what is exactly happening. Okay, all I said is using shape make a rocket. I did not say using these shapes make a rocket. You could have used any shape and you could have made a rocket. Okay. This is the difference. In andragogy, you have a lot of freedom to think. There are no boundaries. In pedagogy, now, thanks to the NEP, thanks to the implementation of NEP and everything, there is a freedom to think, but again, there is a borderline on the curriculum. The barriers are being broken, but the borders are maintained. Okay. Whereas in andragogy, what is happening? The barriers are also broken, the borders are also broken. You break everything. Okay, there are no boundaries. You have all the freedom to write the answers, even in the answer paper, in the assessments. You have all the freedom to write the answers the way you want. The medium of instruction is the medium of answering is your choice. You can decide, even if for a 500-word answer, if you want to write only 300 words, just write 300 words and leave. Nobody is going to shout at you. No teacher, no assessor is going to actually sit and count 1, 2, 3. Arey baap re, isme to 300 words hi likha hai, lekin wahan pe 500 words pucha hai. Nobody is going to shout at you. I remember as a kid, write an essay of about 300 words on some topic. And I would actually write the essay, then I would keep counting the number of words. There is no such boundary over here. That is the difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Okay, now all of you got a experiential learning on what is pedagogy, what is the main difference between pedagogy and andragogy. Hai na? Agree, disagree?
Agree, ma'am.
Now let us continue. Yes, thank you. Now let us continue. Give me a minute. Yeah. All right. What kind of classroom is this? What is happening in this classroom?
Students are getting
Boring
bored.
classroom.
Students are getting bored and some are
Some of them are going to sleep.
Some of them are sleeping. They are disinterested. What could be the reason?
Ma'am, some students are thinking कि कहाँ फंस गए, क्या हो गया?
Hi, कहाँ फंस गया हूँ?
well, that
Right.
teacher might be speaking and just speaking and giving the lecture maybe.
Could be.
Maybe lack of interaction.
Students are not understanding what the teacher is teaching.
Is
Ma'am,
there a
maybe
teacher,
subject
first
is
of
not
all?
interesting.
Is there a
Lack
teacher?
of
That's my
interest.
question.
Ma'am, disinterest among the
Lack
students.
of interest.
Okay, okay.
Maybe
A
the
lot of
content which is being taught is not interesting.
okay. Now let me ask you something.
Teaching methodology is not engaging enough.
Okay. Am I audible to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a teacher in the class, first of all?
No, ma'am.
Yes.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
We don't know. Okay. Somebody is saying yes. Why yes?
Ma'am, it's maybe
No,
a
ma'am.
Yes, Nisha ma'am, please go ahead.
Ma'am, maybe teacher is very democratic in nature and she's trying to give everybody.
That could be there. Okay.
Dreaming. So there may be something like that also.
It could be there. Okay. Basically here, of course, my intention was not to decide whether there's a teacher or no. But the intention over here
Ma'am?
is, yes, yes,
Ma'am, maybe it's a free class.
it's a free class. Okay, fine. Now, let us move on. The intention over here is, what kind of classroom do you prefer? The top one or the bottom one?
Ma'am, the bottom one.
The bottom one.
Bottom one.
Bottom, ma'am.
As a
The
teacher
bottom
or
one.
as a student?
Ma'am, both.
Both.
Both,
Very
ma'am.
diplomatic, huh? Yes. As a teacher, for me, frankly, I would prefer the bottom one. As a student, I don't mind this one. सोने तो मिल जाता है कम से कम, घर पे तो मिलता नहीं है. घर पे दिन भर पढ़ाई करना पड़ता है. सोने का नाम लो तो सबकी आंखें बड़ी बड़ी हो जाती है. This one as a student. Anyway, jokes apart. But yes, an ideal classroom where learning happens is this. Okay. This is where learning happens. This is where the learners are engaged. Okay. When you learn in a happy environment, you're able to apply it much more easily in a stressful environment. Listen carefully. When you learn in a happy environment, you can apply the knowledge much easily in a stressful environment. Because it was a happy environment, there might be some joke related, you might be very happy, it was a special day when you learned that particular lesson, which is what you went and applied it at some other point in life. You may not have experienced it so far, but you will experience it someday. Speaking of which, we come to some of the best practices in both pedagogy and andragogy. Speaking about pedagogy, these are the best practices. Activate, frame, present, guide, provide, check, prevent. AFP, G, PCP. Or another way to put it is AFPG, PCP. AFPG, PCP. That is activate, frame, present, guide, provide, check, and prevent. What do you activate? Think. What will you activate?
Students' brains.
Which is very necessary. Students' brains.
Ma'am, curiosity.
Curiosity, yes. Then what else?
Interest.
Attention.
Student
Creativity.
interest, curiosity, attention, creativity, interest, student brains.
Readiness.
Readiness. And the most important thing is previous knowledge.
PK testing.
Okay. Previous knowledge you activate. A लिखना सिखाना है, तो A लिखने के लिए the child must know how to write, how to draw the mountain, or at least the slanting lines. What is that? Back slant and forward slant. Right? That previous knowledge should be revised. Activate in the sense we revise the existing, or rather the previous knowledge. Then we frame. What do we frame over here?
Questions. We will link the previous knowledge with the one which we are going to teach.
Link the previous knowledge with what we are going to teach. Objectives, yes. Objectives, what else? Somebody said questions. Okay, fine. What else?
We will frame according to the age group, that which age group we are going to, like
so
you said.
That is
maybe 5-year-old child don't know, मतलब पार्क में जाके swing नहीं देखी होगी, but we can expect कि 80 years old ने देखी हो सकती है.
That is, we are framing the LOs and we are framing the plan. Okay. LO के लिए हमें तो सबसे पहले वो learner कौन है वो decide करके उसके हिसाब से we decide or we frame the LOs, we fix on the LOs, then we decide the plan. An 80-year-old, we are taking them to the park, we are taking consent from the guardian, I wouldn't say parent, but yes, we design the plan. That is, we are framing the plan. Then we present. What do we present?
जो हमने प्लान किया है वो हम
कंटेंट. Yes, we present our planned content. Now here, one advice that I would like to share with each of you as a teacher and as a student is that always give small chunks of information. Okay, give small chunks of information. Let the students deduce the rest of the things from the info that is provided. So always plan in such a way that when you present the content, you are giving small pieces of information from which the student deduces the final content or the final conclusion. Okay, or the student is able to arrive at the big objective, lesson objective. All right, that is something of utmost importance when it comes to present. Then comes your next point, which is guide. What are you guiding? You just share the answers. I'm shifting to my old place. Yeah, please go ahead. Now you tell me, what are you guiding?
Guiding the students.
On what?
Concepts.
Okay. What else? What else are you guiding the students on?
Guiding about the direction or the lines on which they should think.
Providing
And
the
how to learn the concepts. Guiding how to learn the concepts.
Okay, guiding the students on how to learn, how to finalize, a lot of things. Mainly guiding how to learn, yes. Guiding
And
using
guiding
examples.
what is wrong for them and what is right.
Yes, guiding examples, guiding using exercises. Okay. Remember those textbook exercises? उसके लिए हमारे टीचर्स आंसर्स मार्क करवाती थी टेक्स्ट बुक में हमारे. Those are some examples of guiding. Okay. Then you are providing them with a lot of different examples. You're providing them with more exercises. Okay. And assessments. You're providing them with assessments. Once you provide them with the assessment, you have to check for misconception. Check for misconception. This is very, very important. Why?
ताकि बच्चा गलत ना समझ ले किसी कॉन्सेप्ट को, या अगर उसको कोई कॉन्सेप्ट अच्छे से समझ नहीं आया तो आंसर से हम ये डिटेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि उसने ठीक लिखा है या नहीं, और अगर कोई मिस्टेक है तो हम उसे करेक्ट कर सकते हैं, उसके जो भी मिसकंसेप्शंस हैं उसको हम दूर कर सकते हैं.
Right. Okay.
Ma'am, it provides
Check if we
feedback.
are teaching effectively or not.
Yes, whether we are teaching effectively or not. All right. Yes, Japjit also shared something. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, I was saying that it's a source of feedback for the teacher.
It is a source of feedback. It is a way of feedback. Also, it helps them diagnose on the misconceptions. Okay. I'll give you a very recent example I came across. The topic was chemical changes. Okay. Now, all of us know what are chemical changes. They are irreversible, they are permanent, and a lot of different things. I asked the children, okay, fine, I agree. Chemical changes are irreversible and they are permanent. If we take NaCl, put it in water. Okay, you take NaCl, you put it in water. You get salt water, basically, right? My question was this. You take NaCl, put it in water, they get dissociated. That is, the sodium chloride they separate. Namak mein kya hai? It is sodium chloride. So sodium chloride separates into sodium and chloride ion. Ion formation hota hai. Na plus and Cl minus ion formation. Okay. In that case, is it a physical or a chemical change? And most of the children ended up saying it is a chemical change. क्यों? क्योंकि ion formation हो रहा है. मैंने बोला पानी तो नमक वाला पानी है. If you heat the water, you get the sodium chloride back. Then they got confused. Basically, it is a physical change. Why? Because although those ions are separating as Na plus and Cl minus, there is no new product that is formed. ये जो नमक वाला पानी है वो फिर से हम लोग को मिल जाएगा नमक और पानी के रूप में. There is no new product that is formed. That is, there was a misconception there. They thought the moment some ions are being formed, matlab, some chemical reaction has happened. Okay. That is misconception. We have to deal with all these misconceptions and remove them. There's another very interesting example. A very good friend of mine, what happened is in geography, all of us have done map work, right? Now, there are states, there's a country, within the country there are states, and within the state there are different cities. है ना? तो हम लोग अलग-अलग cities we keep, okay, we close in 8 minutes. No problem, sir, we will close, don't worry. Okay, so there what happens? I once said I'm going to Kerala the next vacation. So one of my friend asked, I have also gone to Kerala, but I have never seen Kerala station. Have any of you seen Kerala station? Or for that matter, Punjab station or Maharashtra station? No, na? Why? Because it's a state. And that state has got multiple cities where each and every city has got a station. Right? There's a railway station. That is another misconception. So these are some of the misconceptions that we have to deal with and we have to remove when it comes to pedagogical practices. That is what is meant by check and prevent. Prevent all the different misconceptions. That is not much of a challenge in andragogy because there is a learner readiness. The self-concept is already there. The adults are self-directed, they are independent, and they already know what the concept is about. And they are motivated enough. This is the main point. They all are motivated enough and there is an experience. They are coming with a certain experience and there is enough orientation among the adults. So in andragogy is not as challenging, or rather it's challenging in a different way, rather from pedagogy. For pedagogy, the best practice, you have to keep these points in mind, these 7 points in mind. All right. So quickly, let us just recap from the beginning. What is pedagogy? Pedagogy is child-centric, wherein the teacher is the main decision maker. Andragogy is learner-centric, wherein the learner is the decision maker. Then pedagogy is a method of teaching children. Andragogy is for adults. Pedagogy, learners are dependent on the teacher. In andragogy, learners are completely independent. Okay, learners have a lot of experience in andragogy and the content is modified according to the learner demand. We don't have that kind of liberty in pedagogy. Hence, in pedagogy, the content should activate the previous knowledge. It should be framed in such a way that it keeps the teaching objective in mind. And small chunks of information are presented. Then, through relevant examples and exercises, The child is guided towards the goal. There are enough assessment techniques and there are enough checks to prevent misconception. Okay. So with this, any doubts anybody have? Anything? No doubts?
Ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yes, please go ahead.
मैम क्या एंड्रागोजी भी करिकुलम इंक्लूड करता है, मतलब उसमें करिकुलम होता है जैसे हमारे स्कूल्स में करिकुलम होता है?
Curriculum in the sense it has objectives. There are learning objectives.
Okay.
Like if you want to be a Google certified professional, you should know what are Google Slides, how to operate on the Drive, what are Google Sheets. Okay.
Thank
so
you, ma'am.
That way there are objectives in that. Thank you, Priyanka, for asking. Anybody else? Yes, please go ahead.
Ma'am, even I have a doubt. Ma'am, as you said, andragogy is completely independent learning. But how is that completely independent? Because even we need guidance and...
It's not independent. In
Yes, ma'am.
andragogy, we have a facilitator.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
We
This
don't
was my
have
doubt.
we don't have a proper teacher who is directing you. We just have a facilitator who is more like a mentor. Okay. Any other questions?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
आपने जैसे
Yes, Nisha ma'am, please go ahead and then I'll come to Abhilash.
जी मैम, पहले अभिलाष से पूछ ले, फिर मैं पूछती हूँ.
Okay, fine. Yes, Abhilash, please go ahead.
मैम जैसे आपने पेडागोजिकल प्रैक्टिसेस के बारे में बताया, क्या आप वो एंड्रोगोजी जो है उसके बारे में भी, उसके प्रैक्टिसेस के बारे में बताने वाले हैं?
Largely no, because in andragogical there the teaching method is, there is not much of a teaching. It is more of a conversation. It is more of an interaction. Okay. But one thing I can share with you is the most effective strategy in andragogy is something called as a flipped classroom, wherein actually the learner is already having a prior knowledge. You're asking questions and you're working around that knowledge. It is a flipped classroom. So flipped classroom is one of the best techniques for andragogy.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Yes, Nisha ma'am, please go ahead.
जी मैम, अभी हमने जो पैडागोजी में जितने भी पॉइंट्स कंसिडर किए थे, एंड दे आर गोइंग टुवर्ड्स टीचर सेंटर्ड टीचिंग, टीचर सेंटर्ड एनवायरनमेंट. तो मैम मुझे एक डाउट आ गया है कि इन टुडेज टाइम व्हेन वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट कंस्ट्रक्टिविस्ट अप्रोच एंड वी से दैट एनवायरनमेंट शुड बी लर्नर सेंटर्ड वेयर स्टूडेंट कंस्ट्रक्ट हिज ओन नॉलेज. तो मैम पेडागोजी क्या ये एक ऑब्सोलीट टर्म हो गई उस हिसाब से, बिकॉज ऑल द पॉइंट्स वी कंसिडर्ड हियर आर गोइंग टुवर्ड्स द टीचर सेंटर्ड एनवायरनमेंट? प्लीज गाइड. हाँ जी.
Yeah, this was one thing which this was one question which also came up in my mind. Like pedagogy is a sort of being an obsolete term because it is like child centric and we are saying the teacher will guide everything. But here what is happening is we cannot replace the term pedagogy with andragogy, certainly not. But we more rather use the term as PCK, pedagogical content knowledge. But pedagogy is largely dealing with guiding the children on certain set objectives, guiding the children towards achieving certain objectives. That would be a more, right way of saying it. But as far as the term is concerned, we still have to think a little.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, everyone. I hope all of you enjoyed. There is a small questionnaire which I'll be sharing with Arpit sir, and Arpit sir would be forwarding it to all of you. I'm sorry if I did shoot the time a little. I hope I did not. Gulshan sir.
Thank you, Indra ma'am. It was such a wonderful session, so engaging and so constructive way and so innovative. And it was such a wonderful session. I enjoyed every bit of it personally. I'm pretty sure that at the beginning of this particular session, Arpit Dugarji must have introduced Indra ma'am. And, she's a former agriculture scientist, and she turned into education and she became the educationist. And she's also a Bharatanatyam dancer. She used to learn math by dancing. She used to learn maths by dancing. So that is something which further convinces me that music is the integral part of education, and you can do wonderful. She began teaching dance to the children, and that is something very emotional which touched my heart. And I have sent across to Ministry of Social Justice while this program was going on to a couple of people over there that she began teaching dance to children with learning disabilities. That is the special children. How do you handle them? That is something. And their special needs, that's what she took into consideration. She has been working in the education industry for the last 10 to 15 years, and she's doing a commendable work. And ma'am mentioned, we all are learning till the last breath of our life. Learning, relearning, uplearning, reskilling, skilling yourself and all. Few things quickly before we close this session today. Ma'am mentioned somewhere when she had shown that photograph, that was very impressive. If you all noticed, learner are engaged or learning happiness. Do you recall that photograph? When you were presuming some of them, they were dozing off, some of them, they were sleeping, किसी को नींद आ रही है, कोई टेढ़ा है, कोई मेढ़ा है, कोई कहीं है, वो सब चीज को देख रहे थे. And we were seeing and looking at that particular photograph. Then she had shown the other one, and that is learner are engaged or learning happens. So NEP 2020, that implementation is also taking part of it. The lady who is heading at present the committee in Chandigarh with regard to the implementation of NEP 2020, I have sent across a request to them also. There's these youth from this prestigious college, those are getting these special training and special module and special capacity building program. We all have to work together to develop. And the journey has started from Chandigarh, from this college. It will spread like a fragrance, and then we will move on, and then it goes to entire Asia, and then to the different countries. We would also be giving a backdrop to each one of you, which you all will use wherever you would be from the next session on Friday when we come. You'll have a backdrop for learning of this particular program so that it would look like homogeneous, like I have a backdrop at the back. You will also have a backdrop, each one of you. I'll pass on to Arpit also. That will go to our team member also. She also made a mention somewhere, previous knowledge to be revised. If you remember, so the Sector Skill Council, there are 37 Sector Skill Councils of the Government of India under Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. And there is a term called RPL that stands for Recognition of Prior Learning. Recognition of prior learning. What have you learned before? And that is something previous knowledge to be. Then she used a term called curiosity. I think somebody made a mention on that. I wish to share with all of you tonight at 8 p.m. from the Global Fraternity, we have got a program, and that is intellectual curiosity. That's a technology-based intellectual curiosity we are going to talk about. As you all know, this chamber is basically with the non-resident Indian diaspora, those have gone abroad and those are in education ecosystem. Program is going on live. And finally, if you, as Arpitji mentioned yesterday to you, we will be marking your attendance. You got to come over here also, but there are a lot of children, those are on the YouTube. Those are in the first semester, second semester. So you got to go on the YouTube. You got to put your name over there. You got to put with your name, your college also, because that will mark your attendance and will come to know. And final day, we have requested the Honorable Advisor Chandigarh Administration to come to your college and the distribution of the certificates. That's the way we will work out and we'll plan. Now I can see Arpit right over here, and he is having a beautiful mountains. He keeps traveling to different places. He doesn't take me. He says, sir, you got pretty old now. You relax, you enjoy there only wherever you are, and let me travel. And he is wonderful. Now, one more thing which has come as a request, I will discuss with Arpit. We will take that agenda forward and we'll plan it out with all of us together. Unmute your mics. And you can say hoy also, you can clap also. Give a thanks to Indra ma'am the best possible way, whatsoever we can.
Thank you,
Because she
ma'am.
did a
Thank you,
wonderful
ma'am.
job for all of us.
Thank you.
Full engagement.
Thank you, everyone.
It was very
Yeah.
wonderful, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
so much,
Shivangi was
ma'am.
keeping her hand like this and she was laughing and looking towards some other person in the home. Anyway, I'm very sharp. I can make out within no time who is doing what. Anyway, now let's hand over to Arpit if he wishes to share something quickly before we wind up today's session.
Sure, so sure. Indeed, it was a wonderful session. Thank you, Indira, for pulling this up very well, and all the participants who enjoyed it, got engaged. So I believe it was a great learning session for all of us in that sense. And today my background is because Indira had asked which place would you like to be in. So put your background there. So these are mountains. These are mountains of Switzerland, though. But northeast or
Yes, now you are right.
My favorite.
Now you are right. I'm going to take you to northeast. Come with me to Nagaland or Arunachal Pradesh, or you will start singing over there because beautiful mountains, you can get it over there. We are not going to allow you to go to Switzerland. Come on.
Absolutely. So looking, I have never been to northeast till now,
Yes,
and I look forward to it. Yes.
Yeah. Thank
So,
you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being so attentive. And I was there across the session, looking at what kind of questions you have asked. A couple of very interesting notes we have prepared, which I'll be sharing after this to all of us. And today, as I said, every week we will be sending one assessment and an assignment which you have to do before the next week's session comes. Okay, so before the next Friday, you will have to do it. Today, you will be receiving all of these assignments over your emails. So on that note, yeah, that's it from my side. Keep this energy high and let's keep the ball rolling.
Great. So Friday, 2:30 p.m. Is that the timing, Arpitji?
Friday, it is 2 p.m., sir. Saturday is 2:30 p.m.
Okay, Friday, 2 p.m. and Saturday, 2:30 p.m. accordingly. So enjoy yourself. Today, Dr. Nisha Singh ma'am, the coordinator of this particular program, which is a special program, she had been very kind to allow all of you to join from your respective residences. I know you enjoyed Mama's Parathas and beautiful lunch, Rajma Chawal, and that's why, everybody was so relaxed and so enjoying and so enjoyable. God bless all of us. Thank you very much. Let's take the journey forward. Next Friday at 2 o'clock, once again, we all would be meeting. Keep sharing the views. Every evening, 8 o'clock, we all are together. Every evening, whosoever gets a time, why don't you subscribe the channel ICSI India so that you come to know what is coming when, and you never know, me and Arpit, where, when, which way we will appear. We might talk to you from the music festival of the Zero that is in Arunachal Pradesh. You never know. We may go to Nagaland and we are sitting in Dimapur or Mokokchung or Kohima or somewhere else, or might be we go to Indira ma'am, wherever she is. Bangalore also might be having mountains. Hyderabad also might be having mountains. Beautiful places are there. Those are going to Bangalore. Because I'm from the tourism background, you must take a tour to the Sholay movie shooting. Because where the Sholay was shot, there is an organized tour taking you to all those locations and saying, Kalia, kya kehte hain gaon wale? No, that entire tour is being shown to you, and that's a tourism package. Similar way, if you're going to Spain, Zindagi na milegi dobara. There's a 1-week tour being taken over there. And Arpit was talking about Switzerland. Dil to pagal hai. Dilwale Dulhaniya le jayenge. Mohabbatein, Chandni, ek aur movie thi. I'm just Lamhe. All these movies were shot in Switzerland. And Yash Chopra ji had put Switzerland on the world tourism map. And we were associated with that because that time I was with the Ministry of Tourism and I recall and I remember all those. And 2006, Singapore took the advantage of India. Krish 1 was shot in Singapore and they paid 8 crores to Rakesh Roshan ji for shooting that movie for 28 days over there. India is beautiful. Indian are wonderful. We recently got the Oscar. Now the education Oscar has to come to Sector 20 B.Ed College soon. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Sir.
Thank you,
Sir.
Arpit ji. Yes,
Thank
Nisha
you,
ma'am.
sir.
Yeah.
Sir, on behalf of my students, I want to convey our heartfelt gratitude to Madam Indra for giving us a very fun-filled learning experience today. And what she told about best practices, I think she taught it in a very perfect way, because she used all the elements of those practices. She tried to provoke, she tried to guide us, she corrected us, so everything was very good, and we really enjoyed and learned a lot from her.
Thank you.
Thank you so much to you and Arpit sir too.
थैंक यू। जाने से पहले, क्लोज करने से पहले अपने आप से जो कुछ कहूंगा सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूंगा, जो कहूंगी सच के सिवा कुछ नहीं कहूंगी। कुछ भी ऐसा मत करो जो पहले हो चुका है, कुछ ऐसा करो जो पहले कभी नहीं हुआ और तुम उसकी हिस्ट्री क्रिएट करो। और अभी आप देखिए जो शेख साहब हैं यूएई के, वो कहते हैं ऐसा बुर्ज खलीफा बनाओ जब पहला कभी ना बना हो और उसके बाद कोई ना बना सके। इस कॉलेज से ऐसी जर्नी शुरू करो कि बीएड के एजुकेशन के इकोसिस्टम में एक नई लहर, एक नई उमंग, एक नई तरंग, एक नई जल तरंग, एक नया साज यहां से शुरू हो। रूटीन वर्क रोज होता रहेगा। ट्राई एंड बिकम inquisitive, curious to do something which has not happened. बाकी अगले सप्ताह बात करेंगे, आप लोगों के साथ फिर मिलेंगे। और अपना ख्याल रखिएगा, खुश रहिएगा, मुस्कुराते रहिएगा, कम खाइएगा, कम वजन बढ़ाइएगा। और दोपहर के समय का प्रोग्राम होता है, इसलिए लंच कम लीजिएगा और लिक्विड ज्यादा लीजिएगा, आगे गर्मियां आ रही हैं। स्टे फिट, स्टे फाइन। देखो मेरे लिए तो अर्पित जी को मैं हमेशा कहता हूं, ही इज अभिषेक बच्चन पार्ट 2, सो दैट इज द वे, लाइक धूम 1, धूम 2, धूम 3, ही इज माय धूम 4।